Hello, you're getting this lovely intro from the floor here because I forgot to ever film an intro for this video. So anyways, it is time for me to read Sophie Lark. So many of you were surprised when I had said that I was doing this vlog and that I had never read her before because she's so popular and I love mafia books. She writes mafia books, so it is kind of surprising that I haven't read her. But the more that someone tells me to read something, the more I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. So for a while I was like, I'm not gonna do it. But finally I was like, I'm getting to this point where it's just like, I just need to read her. So Cheyenne from That Tall Book Girl has also, or she had read Brutal Prince, but she couldn't even remember ever reading it. And she hasn't read any of Sophie Lark's books either. So we were like, let's get together and do a vlog together. So that's what we did. So we got together and we both read the first 3 books in the Brutal Birthright series. So once you're done watching this video, make sure you go check out Cheyenne's vlog as well for her thoughts. I know we had different opinions on them. So especially the 3rd book, we had like very different opinions. So maybe you'll agree with me, maybe you'll agree with her, but make sure you go check out her channel. I love her. Subscribe, comment, like, do all the fun things to show her all of the love because she's amazing. So the 3 books, we're going to be reading Brutal Prince. You'll see footage from that first, and then Stolen Heir is the second one, and then Savage Lover, which is the 3rd one. So I'm very excited for you guys to see this vlog. If you're friends with me on Goodreads, you've already seen my ratings, but if you're not, then you're in for a little surprise here. So anyways, that's it, and let's jump on into the vlog footage. Excuse the charging cord. I don't know about you guys, but ever since my phone made the most recent update, it is garbage rot. Like, my battery just dies so quickly, so I'm having to charge my phone while I do this. I better do a check-in before I sit back down and get back into reading more. I was reading Vibe for my Banned Forbidden Taboo reading vlog that'll be up later this month, and I was vibing with that, and I was so excited to come back home and get into that again today, and then I realized, like, I saw Cheyenne post on her story that she was already on the 2nd book, and I'm like, oh, I'm a little behind, but like, whatever, I still have tons of time. And then when I got home and I was flipping through my little content calendar, I was like, no, this isn't going up on the Friday that you're thinking it's going up on. It's going up on the Tuesday of that week. So now I have like 9 days to get these done, which isn't like horrible. Like, I can easily read these 3 books in 9 days, but I'm like, okay, so actually drop Vibe and start reading Brutal Prince. So I'm reading Brutal Prince right now, and I'm already 30% into it. I've been reading for like the past 2 hours, just laying on my couch here, and I'm loving it. I'm really enjoying this one. Like, has gripped me from the beginning, which thank God, because obviously I need to be cranking on this, but I'm really liking it. I like Ada a lot. She's probably my favorite character so far between her and Callum. Like, Callum's fine. I'm sometimes like instantly drawn to a hero, and with him I'm just like not, like, he's fine. I'm definitely liking the hate to love, and they have a reason to actually hate each other, which I like. I hate when they hate each other for stupid things. Like, at least these two, they have like family deep rivalries going between them, and then also the whole incident with the fire and the watch. I figured that was coming for Sebastian. I figured that something was going to happen. Like, for them to say at the beginning that he's trying to be the one to stay out of family business, I'm like, well, then you know he's going to get dragged into it. So I do like him. I'm intrigued by him. I like Nero a lot. Here's the thing. I'm pretty sure he's like the car one that I think is the 3rd book. So I'm just intrigued by his whole kind of like style, his vibe, his hair, him being like the one that's so hot and can get with like every girl. I don't know. I am just really enjoying him. I don't know how Sebastian and Dante, I'm assuming like they get books. I don't know which ones they go into. The only other character that I think I know is Nessa, because they were talking about her being a ballet dancer, and on the cover of Stolen Heir, it's like a ballerina, so I'm just assuming that that's her book. So I will be interested to see more of her. I think so far she's fine. We haven't really seen a lot of her except her like being excited about her 19th birthday party, which like pop off. I like the arranged marriage aspect of this. It's their wedding day. I stopped at chapter 10 and it is their wedding day, and I don't know how it happens, but I do know that Ada, I think, eats strawberries to try to poison him, so I'm excited to see that. Overall, I'm just liking the world. I'm loving Sophie Lark's writing. Like, I think that's really good right now. So far, I'm just like really enjoying it. I don't really have anything like that I'm not liking. So it is Sunday, December 4th. So it is 3 o'clock. And my mom has a birthday dinner tonight at 6, but the restaurant's like literally 5 minutes away from my place. So I do need to get ready. Obviously, it's like a steakhouse, so I need to pull myself together a little bit. But I'm hoping I can kind of read up until, like, I'm hoping I can at least get like another solid hour and a half, hour 45 minutes in, because I'm thinking, wouldn't it be great if I could finish this book tonight? We will see. Hello, happy whatever day this is. What day of the week is it? I don't even know. Also ignore the fact that I have 3 nails painted out of 5. It's going to be a long week. But I did finish Brutal Prince last night. So I started and finished it yesterday. So I'm sorry. I didn't really do a ton of check-ins for this book. Stolen Air and Savage Lover, I'll try to do more. But this one, like, I couldn't put it down. So I did end up finishing late last night. And then at that point, I was like half dead and needed to go to sleep. But I ended up giving this one 5 stars. I loved this. There wasn't really anything about this book that I didn't like. I think the main thing for me at the end, though, the whole kidnapping plot with Oliver, like, I think we kind of saw that coming throughout the course of the book, so it's not like that came out of nowhere. However, that's just not my personal favorite of, like, the crazy ex who kidnaps their ex-partner and is like, if I can't have you, no one can. I don't really love that. So I was kind of like, but I thought at least it was like suspenseful. I liked that even though Callum did come to her rescue, Ada wasn't like helpless in any way. Like, she ended up also saving like him, like just the way that they worked together in that. Loved that. I loved how strong of a heroine she was. I felt like she never once gave in to Callum or like broke like how he kind of wanted her to. Really loved that. I loved their like passionate kind of like fiery connection. I didn't feel as much of an emotional connection between them as I did their like physical connection, and that they definitely had hate to love like burned really bright. I never really felt like there was a super like emotional impact moment between the two of them, but that was fine because honestly I just kind of like overlooked those certain things because my enjoyment of the books was so high. I loved the mafia plot with it. I loved the kidnapping when the butcher kidnapped Callum and Ada like came to his rescue single-handedly, and then they like jumped down a storm drain. Like, that was fun. I love her brothers. I'm really excited for Nero, especially when they went to that one garage and he cut like that dude's face and like sliced his arm open, and he was like, you're gonna answer me. I loved that. I'm obsessed with this man. I cannot wait for whatever his book, Savage Lover, I think his is the 3rd. I cannot wait for that book. I'm so freaking excited for it. Callum's family too, like, they're fine. Like, his parents, they were kind of like fine. Like, I thought they were like fine inclusions, whatever. I at least liked that in this book that while it was like obviously those two, there were a lot of other characters involved, which that sometimes is my problem with certain romances, is that they never interact with any characters outside of each other. And like, I like to see them with friends or family or, you know, just other people. And I did like that there were a lot of other characters involved. I think it set up the world really well. I loved Sophie Lark's writing. Like, overall, this book just worked for me, and just my enjoyment was so high. Like, I flew through this, as you can tell by the fact that I literally started and finished it in one day. I'm really excited to start Stolen Air. I think that's Nessa's book. I don't know who the dude is. I don't know if we've met him or not already, but I am really excited for that book. And yeah, overall, this is off to a strong start, a very strong start. It has been quite the day, and yes, I could sit up to do this check-in, but I'm not going to. So I started Stolen Air last night. I got about, I think, like 24%, 25% into it, and so far I am really enjoying it. I'm really vibing with it. I think, is it like Mikolai? Is it like Nikolai, but like with an M? Miko. I'm liking him so far. I really liked how he opened up with that story about his sister and how he like single-handedly tracked down those men for revenge, and that's how he got into the mafia. And with the butcher that we had seen in Brutal Prince, like, I like them that we're getting like a little bit more of the other side of his story. I mean, obviously I'm still not looking at this dude being like, you're a good guy, but I did like the fact that the butcher shot the other guy in the head when he found out that he had assaulted Miko's sister, and that's why he was hunting him down and killing them. I love the captor-captive plot. I do like Nessa's character so far. I'm intrigued by, like, again, the mafia world that's kind of being set up, because we've obviously gotten the other two families set up in Brutal Prince, but then seeing, like, this third family and this third kind of, like, holding in the mafia establishment. I'm liking seeing that so far. Overall, I'm just vibing. I really, once again, like, I don't really have any complaints. I will say, with Sophie Lark's book so far, what I've noticed, at least, like I said, I've literally this is only my second one, but I'm instantly gripped. Like right from the start, I don't want to put it down. And like, I find myself just reading and not even checking like the percentage at all, which I do fall into that habit sometimes of like constantly looking in the bottom corner to see like how far I am through the book or like how much progress I'm making. With these, I'm not. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I'm getting far. Like they're fast to read. They're entertaining. They're gripping right from the beginning. And yeah, I'm very excited to jump back in. There's no way I'm going to be able to finish it tonight because I have the Anna Huang interview in like 45 minutes. And then I have to record for my podcast right after that. So I definitely am not going to be able to finish tonight, I don't think. And I have to be up early tomorrow morning, but I'm going to try to read as much as I can because I am really, really vibing with this. Hello. This has been a long day. It's literally almost like 9 o'clock and I just got home. I had a meeting all day and then a work dinner. So I am just very tired and I'm also getting a cold. I've been thinking that I've been getting a cold for like a couple days now, and my mom has been really sick and I was around her over the weekend. So I kind of like thought that this might be coming, but then it just like hit me today. And let's get a light on. And I am struggling, but I need to update on Stolen Air because I didn't last night because I read until I basically fell asleep. What did I get to last night? I don't even know what percentage of the way I am through, but here's the thing. I am still really, really liking this book. However, this is my problem that I tend to have with captive books, is that after a while I get sick of being held captive along with the character that's held captive. At least we're getting out with Miko. Like he's at least taking us out and about a little bit, which is nice. But I am kind of ready for things to like start moving along in terms of either her getting out or Miko negotiating a deal with her family, or I don't know. Like I like the stuff that Miko's doing right now and like the plots that he's been doing to take down and like kind of pit people against each other and stuff, and like even the fake handover. But I'm just kind of ready for there to be a little bit more resolution or a little bit more relationship progression. But I am really liking it still. Honestly, I feel like I'm flopping at checking in on this book because I keep reading until I like fall asleep and then I'm like, oh, I'll update it in the morning. And then in the morning, I'm like, what did I read last night? But really right now, I'm like genuinely struggling to even like stay awake. So I need to take my makeup off, wash my face, play laser light with the kitties because they can't go to bed without it. And then I'm going to read some more and go to bed. So anyways. Okay, it's literally probably like, 20, 30 minutes after I made that last check-in. But here's the thing. That now that I'm reading, my memory is jogged again of things that I liked. So even though I don't want to see like Dante go down, I did find it fascinating how Miko planned that whole takedown of him and framing him for murder. Very smart. Also, just a prediction. Jonas is going to mess something up. He's going to make some sort of skeezy move on Nessa. I feel that. We've had too many like little notes about his like lingering glances and like getting up close and personal with her, and I just really think that he's shady, besides the fact that he literally helped kidnap a girl. Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah, this is how I look. Hold on. My breakfast just popped. Oh, that's not toasted yet. Okay, here's the thing. If you are like the 2% of male people that watch my video, and if you're between the ages of like 26 to like 35, single, and potentially would ever be interested in dating me, please click off now because this is how I look. I am very ill. I am very ill, but thank God it's the weekend and I have no plans. It's like blizzard outside yesterday, so I have no plans to go out and about. I finished Stolen Air last night, so let's update on it while just excuse the appearance, people. I freaking loved this ending so much. I ended up giving this book 5 stars. Here's the thing. I did get a little bored in the middle of it, which is how I always tend to do with captive books, because eventually I'm like to a point where I'm like, I'm sick of her being locked up. Can we get somewhere? So I hit that wall with this one. But I did really believe the organic connection and relationship that grew between Mikolai and Nessa. Are you toasted now? My toaster sucks. But anyways, I really believed the connection between the two of them, and I really enjoyed their relationship progression. I also was like, how is this gonna work? Because I'm like, I feel like she's not trying to escape at this point. So I'm like, either her family's going to come in and rescue her and find that she doesn't want to be rescued, or he's going to let her go. And then he did let her go, and I really liked that. And then I knew Jonas was a scumbag. I had called, well, so I think I had called earlier on in this video that I thought that he was going to make a move on Nessa, and he didn't. Instead, he waited. And then he stabbed Mikolai literally in the back. Well, I don't know if he stabbed him in the back, but whatever. And then all the people started fighting, and he's in this big knife fight by himself, which I loved that. That was fun. I mean, not that he almost died, but then that she made, oh, why am I forgetting his name, the good guy's name? She made the good guy turn around that was taking her home and go back and check on him. Oh, and then Clara showing up too. Love Clara. I think was his name Marcel. Loved Clara and Marcel. I thought they were so cute. Then I loved when they got back how she like really stood up for herself to her parents and was like, this is the dude that I'm marrying, take it or leave it. Like, I want him. We're on the same side now, whatever. Loved all that. Loved them getting Dante out of prison. Loved him showing up to his club and then killing Jonas, of being like, you fake leader, get out of here. Challenge you to a knife fight. Cut your tendons off, then cut your throat open. This is a butter knife. I loved all of that. And then I loved her performance at the end, which then turned into her almost getting assassinated by I think it was the Russians, right? By the Russian dude. And then him blocking the shot from her, and then her dad shooting up the guy. And then Mika was like, oh, this is like the gangster guy that's like underneath the prim and proper surface. And then loved kind of like how he got the respect from her family after that. So overall, I just loved this book. But then last night, because my nighttime medicine hadn't kicked in yet, I did start Savage Lover then. I'm only like 11% into this book, but so far I'm loving it. I'm instantly intrigued once again. I think that's the great thing about Sophie Lark's books that I noticed, is that each 3 have gripped me within the first 1 or 2 chapters. And I really love that. I hate when it's slow to get into them. Like, you're just pretty much dropped right into the stories with these, which I like. I'm so excited for Nero. Is it Nero? Not Nero. Probably Nero. I'm so excited for him. I'm liking Camille so far. I love the Fast and Furious franchise. Dom and Letty are my one of my fave couples. Absolutely love them. So like, if these two want to give me Dom and Letty vibes, I'm 1000% down. I know Cheyenne had said she really liked the first part of this book, and then it completely tanked after like 30% for her. So I'm nervous because so far, like, I'm freaking loving it and I don't want it to tank. So we'll see. But I'm gonna eat my breakfast. I have a Bad Mom's Christmas queued up on my TV, so I'm gonna eat that, and then I'll jump back into Savage Lovers later, because it's Saturday. This video is going up on Tuesday. I got time, but I still also have to edit. That's it for right now. Okay, this lighting botched and I am still gross, but I'm feeling a little bit better today. I took a big nap today and I'm feeling a little bit better. So my nose is like not as stuffy anymore. My throat's still pretty sore, but my nose is not as stuffy anymore. So I'm taking that as a win. So anyways, I'm just getting ready for bed, but I wanted to update quickly on Savage Lover, because I think I'm about 34% of the way through, and I'm a little nervous because I think Cheyenne had said it was either the 20 or 30% mark. I think that she said that it kind of started to go off the rails for her, which so far it's not going off the rails for me yet. I am still really, really liking this book. I'm really liking Camille. I'm liking the situation of her and the cop and trying to keep her brother out of trouble with the drugs, and then now in turn she's like trying to be like an undercover informant for the cop, and that the cop also wants dirt on Nero, and that like he's kind of like keeping an eye on him as well. I like that element. I really like the kind of like restlessness that Nero has with his character, and how he's talked about how him and Dante used to like do all these jobs years ago, but then Dante enlisted, and then now like he says like they don't get to have any fun anymore, and by fun he means like robbing trucks and banks and things. I don't know, I just kind of like that restlessness that we're seeing from him, and the fact that he wants the money for this like property to build up, but that he doesn't want to accept any help from Mikolai or the like Polish mafia or from Callum's family. So what are they? The Irish mafia, and obviously the Italian mafia, which is like his family don't have enough money for it. So I kind of like the predicament that he's in, and that I'm assuming he's going to do like some sort of bank heist plan with all of this. I don't know how Camille's going to fit into it all, but I like her a lot. And so far, I don't really care that there's not a lot of mafia elements in this one yet, because I'm just so enjoying the like car. Like I even just like when they're talking about cars and they're talking about racing the cars and talking about fixing the cars. Like I just like that because I like cars. I like that stuff, and it's fun to read about. Like I do kind of feel like I'm watching like a Dom and Letty kind of relationship play out in front of me. I don't really miss like the mafia elements of it that were more in the first two books, at least so far. It is kind of more like, I don't know, like drug running and car racing, which I'm kind of cool with. I like both of our characters. I like their friendship. I mean, like, are they even friends yet? Not really, but I liked their little moment that they had together. And at the street race when Nero quick like scooped her up and took her away because her car was down, whatever. I liked that. I'm really liking it so far, and I'm nervous because I'm just like waiting for the switch to flip, but so far so good in my book. I'm really enjoying it. Okay guys, I finished Savage Lover, and if you were on the reading sprints that Nikki and I did on Sunday night, you already know that I loved it. I gave this book 5 stars. This was amazing. Like, I truly loved everything about this book. So here's the thing. Okay, let's start with like, I feel like I could get carried away. So I'm going to try to like break this down little by little. So let's start with the characters. Camille. I loved her character. I loved how she wanted to take care of her brother and get the money for her brother that he's rightfully owed, with his father being the dude that like owns the bank or whatever. I liked that. I loved her wanting to take care of her dad and doing what she needed to do for him and keeping the shop afloat and like running. I loved her love of cars and how she was like a very hard worker and kind of like a little more like rough and tumble, but like still feminine in a way. Like, loved her. I loved Nero. I loved that like volatile nature of his and how that carried out in like the bank scheme, and how he does have like such a soft spot for Camille. I am just forever a sucker for the bad boy who will settle down for like the one right girl, and I just love that. Like, he was such a fuck boy, and to see him really like come full circle to be like such a great partner to her, loved that. Loved that there was no third act breakup between them. The bank heist plot, that was fun. I do think the scene itself, like, it wrapped itself up within like a chapter, which like I maybe would have liked to see like some trial runs or some more like behind the scenes stuff with it. We were just kind of like told that, and then the like bank heist happened and it was done and over, and we didn't really see any repercussions of that afterwards. So I would have liked to maybe see a little bit more, but the stuff that we did get, I all really enjoyed. I loved the street racing. I loved the cars that like they would talk about, like fixing the cars, being in the cars, driving the cars. I just loved all that. I loved their relationship progression. I thought that it felt natural, and I liked that Camille kind of held herself back a little bit because she didn't want to get hurt by him, and then he was actually the first one to admit that he loved her. I loved their little bit with their families at the end, of like them introducing each other to their families and realizing when she said that how he had told her that he was no one's favorite, and she was like, "You're my favorite." Oh, loved that. So cute. And I liked how the things ended up with the drug bust, like her having to wear a wire in and then getting caught with the wire and stuff. Like, that was interesting. Like, overall, I like enjoyed everything. Like, I loved this book. I really, really did. And I was waiting for it, and I kept on waiting for the other shoe to drop. I kept waiting for it to go off the rails, and it never did for me. I do understand why some people don't like it, because it is within a mafia series, and I feel like there's like literally no mafia action in there. I personally didn't care about that because I liked the other aspects of it so much, but I do get that if you're expecting a mafia book, this is not mafia. So granted, okay, here's the thing. This is always the thing when I read these like heat of the moment. Like, then I've rated these all 5 stars, and like in the heat of the moment right now, I'm going to say this is my favorite, but it is kind of hard because then sometimes like books grow on you more over time, or like books, you kind of look back and you're like, maybe I didn't love that as much as I thought I did. But then like when you're making a video like this, it's set in stone. Like, then that's like your opinion's out there, and like that's what it is, even if it does change. So as of right now, I think I'm going to rank them with this one being my favorite, with Savage Lover being my favorite. I don't know if I'd put Brutal Prince or Stolen Heir ahead of each other, because here's the thing, when I'm looking back at Stolen Heir, I was bored for a certain portion of this book, but the ending half was so amazingly strong that it kind of like overshadows that, and I loved Mikolai. And then with the first book, like I did like the hate to love and everything, and I like the world setup in that, but like really there's nothing like hugely dynamic about that book that's like a standout to me, like the last half of Stolen Heir was, or like the entirety of Savage Lovers was for me, where I like just love these two characters. So I don't know, maybe it would be like Savage Lover, Stolen Heir, Brutal Prince. I don't know. But I would say so far Savage Lover is my favorite. So I definitely am going to continue on with this series. So I am wrapping this up on Sunday, December 11th. And this video is going up on the 13th. But here's the thing. I'm not going to keep going right away because I am in the middle of reading a book for my Banned Forbidden Taboo reading vlog. So I'm going to keep going on that to get that done. And then I also have an unhinged Christmas novella vlog that I have some to read for that too. So I'm going to keep going on those. But I'm definitely going to be picking up the rest of the series because I'm loving it. And they're so easy to read, and I'm really excited for the Kingmakers series. So anyways, that's it for this video. Make sure that you go check out Cheyenne's video to hear all of her thoughts on these. I know we definitely had differing opinions on them, so you'll either maybe agree with mine or agree with hers, but yeah, we definitely had some differing opinions, especially when it comes to Savage Lovers. So anyways, that is it for today's video, and I will see you when I see ya.